Hello, Internet. Hey, you remember me? The guy that used to come to you weekly and give you updates on all the fancy stuff we're doing? Well, I'm still here, just not doing that much fancy stuff. In fact, a lot of the stuff is just small projects that don't really require an entire episode. So this time I've got an episode of various small projects that we've done. And I hope you enjoy. Thanks for watching. In the middle of April, I came home to this, where the old pine trees that we'd left up in the backyard were completely covered in the heavy wet snow, and they were hanging over the barn. Okay, problem at hand are these trees. Let me try to get a better view here. So, we left these up, and I don't know if you can really tell, but with all the wind we've had in the winters, I don't know if you can see how bad these things have been rubbing against each other, but as you can see, it's definitely leaning kind of right towards the barn. So we got to cut that down. Missed the house by a few feet. Had to cut this one high because it's supporting the hummingbird feeder. So yeah, pretty short time of that. Also in April, it was time to put in some more windows on the back side of the building. We were going to end up putting 3 more, which will leave us 2 on the far end there. So at this point, you know the drill. Got to take down the sheets of steel, which is never really that easy, but pretty smooth. It's a little awkward because they're so tall, but things were progressing pretty well at this point. To remove the outlet, and this is about when I started to make a mistake. Started loosening the sheets over the window a little prematurely, as you're about to find out, and kept pulling the screws out of the sheets over the window, and got this sheet off. It's a little stuck, but ended up getting it off, and instead of focusing on this sheet, I ended up focusing on the next sheet, which was not a good plan, as you're about to find out. Luckily, no major mishaps. That sheet that fell ended up getting kind of beat up, but not too bad. I was lucky that it didn't, fall on my face like things have happened before. So now it's a matter of just pulling out this insulation. Of course, all of these openings had been insulated because otherwise there wasn't really a whole lot keeping us warm in the last few winters. So Carmen and I kind of teamed up on this job. It's going to be another scaffold project, so we went to work getting this all set up. Again, we're getting pretty good at that, so this went pretty smooth, except for that, I guess. Yeah. we got all the insulation out, it was time to prep the windows. I have shown this a few times at least, so I won't bore you with the details. However, on this end of the building, I had to add some framing because initially we were going to have equal size windows on the back of the house. But we realized as we were living inside that didn't leave us enough wall space to accommodate our shelves over on the library, which is on the opposite side. So we ended up bringing the wall over about 10 inches, so that would give us enough space for some shelves. So from the outside, the openings are not going to be the same size. The center two bays are 90 inches, and then the outside two bays are going to be 80 inches. Got everything pretty much prepped right about the time that my buddy Sam showed up. I work with Sam, and he and Adam helped me with the other windows. So very grateful that I had some young, strong dudes to help me with this project. So giving him kind of the layout of the plan. And then Adam showed up, decided to do the largest window first. This is the big 90 by 54, I think. Very heavy, but it was, yeah, no, it was, by this time we're getting pretty good at this. So I told them to hold it up while I don't know what I did, and yeah. Adam and I were able to manhandle this up on the scaffold, and it went in pretty easy. Like I say, we're getting pretty good at this. It's a little tight in some spots, but yeah, pretty smooth. One window down, second window, like I say, a little bit smaller, but still pretty heavy. So the inspector showed up to make sure we were doing it right, which thankfully we were. This client is really pretty hard to work for. She's got quite an eagle eye, and she can be, 4 or 5 miles away and see that there's a problem. So you really have to stay on your toes with her. Luckily, got the right crew, and again, things progressed pretty smoothly. Got this one up. This one ended up fitting a little bit better in the opening. And yeah, off to the races. We're ready for the third window, final window today. This window is a little bit different. It has a casement window there on the right side, so that will open out, crank out, and the rest of it's just a picture window. So on the other end, on the library end, on the left side of the building here, will be another window that matches this, kind of opposite. But those are going to be the only 2 windows that open on this whole back side. Of course, the door will open, but a lot of glass and a lot of a good view. In June, the summer started off real dry, so we decided to finally get these piers poured for the porch that goes over the entry door. Wanted to get this done so we could stack some firewood. Here are the 3 posts that really beautiful with the streaking, the mineral streaking, just really pretty stunning. Here's a little shot of the joinery at the top. This shows the 2 beams and sort of where they lap over. It's a little different than the joinery that I did on the other side, but similar. That kind of shows the exploded view of it. Not super fancy. Probably looks more fancy than it is, but it was fun to do. So Carmen and I got these temped up here. It's going to be a big improvement. Like I say, eventually that porch will go the whole length of the house. There's a little different view of it. And I was able to get the rafters up pretty quickly. Thanks, scaffold. Ready? Want me to go?
Go.
So Carmen got some sealer on all this pine. This is our lovely pine forest. It's nice, isn't it? We're going to put all this, all the shop walls are going to be pine.
Oh, nice.
No. This is for the
vision.
roof up here.
Look how nice that looks. Good job, babe.
Good job, babe. Good job, babe. That's it. That's all I got.
You don't want to talk more about your roof?
Nah, they saw it with this one. Just more of the same. Eventually we're going to have concrete pavers along this side, but here I just grabbed a bunch of pallets from work just for a temporary floor. so we could come out that door. And this is where we're going to store our firewood for the winter. Here's a view of the outside. This is all temporary right now. We just want to kind of close it in so the snow didn't bury our porch, and to try to keep all that firewood dry. This is kind of a temporary outside part. Eventually this will all be more open, but for right now we just wanted to make sure the snow stayed out. And here's a view from the inside. It's pretty handy to just walk out and grab some wood. So about a couple of cheap bracks. And yeah, this is living with the porch, right, Carmen? In late July, we took a road trip out to Montana for Carmen's family reunion. We camped at Sealy Lake, where she has some family. And this is us hanging out in the lake with all the toys while there's a giant forest fire right on the horizon. Pretty surreal stuff.